Okay, there we go. I was just gonna, when I lie down and I acknowledge how blessed and fortunate and what it feels like to experience the gift of life, eternal love in your heart and your soul, and the essence of your spirit. And I self-talk to my cells, my DNA, to God source, all the spirits, all life, everywhere. And why, as a child, it was such a challenge because when your heart is pure, because you're experiencing the collective consciousness field of God consciousness, a God seed atom, then I'm naturally not going to do any harm to another life form because that's translated as harm that I experience in me as a loss of life force because I experience oneness. So everything you are is everything I am. I'm giving love to. So the same eternal love is flowing through me, is flowing through you. So I'm not going to do anything to you any more than I'm going to do anything to me because we're one. So you can see how that is when I was a child, okay, navigating that course that way, right? Because right out of the gate, when I came through my biological mother's womb, it's like, how do you function in something that is ass backwards? You know what I mean? Because that's how it operates. That's how the mathematical design operates. Instead of giving away energy, it is something that is sucking energy, siphoning energy at a very high rate of speed in order to try and keep itself alive when it's dead without an off switch. So it doesn't have any love to show toward another living life form because it has no love for itself. Yeah, that's the WTF territory. So as a child, this is impossible. It's an illusion. It doesn't exist unless I give consent to experience what it is, which isn't what I am. Okay? But it doesn't have any feelings. And if it doesn't have any feelings, it's not experiencing any love. And if it's not experiencing any love, then it isn't what I am. So it's an illusion. Yeah. Navigating your way through a maze, an illusion, spinning mirrors, and always knowing I'm always home, home base, 0 degrees, the center point of a crystal star, the eternal sun, the silver gold-mated one, the pure seed, the pure God seed. So that's what I am. And so that's the one I serve. Always. I refuse to have it any other way. Right? So there's never any doubt about who I am, what I am in spirit form, the flow. Let it flow. So I don't hold anything captive as a source of food because I don't want to experience the harm that's being done by a loss in them, my experience in me. And that was what was the challenge. That's why my pathway was written the way that it was. It's what I call a crooked street, like crooked trees, as they used to say in Ireland. Remember the myth about crooked trees? Wow, about crystal structures, the perfection of crystal structures, which is alignment. So we know something about alignment to experience perfect balance. So the universe is not out of order. Yeah. So we're always breathing in order. So the elemental union of experience and being one is union with God Source, being one with God Source. That's the one I serve. So wherever God Source is, I am, and that makes it simple. So that's where being in all those rooms for all those years and experiencing an enormous amount of humility and being humble and listening and experiencing everything that they're experiencing of what they're sharing in those rooms. And that's where all the truth comes out. They're done fighting. They all want to come home and be loved again, to experience love in their own heart again. The toughest step, as I remember it, not for me, but I know because of having been through so many others and hung out with people. The first guy that I met had 19 years of sobriety. And I'll never forget what he told me when he got to know me a little bit. He said, "You're going to be a tough nut to crack because you've had a lot of schooling." And he reminded me that this is not a textbook class. This is recovering your spirit, getting your spiritual house in order, back in breathing order again, which is re-encryption, which is reprogramming. Remember who the heck you are, the one you serve, the one I am. So that's called a road to recovery, and it happens. But I can tell you this from my own personal perspective: when I got down on my hands and knees and cried like a little baby, and I was coming home, I know how to come home. And it's really, if I use the English words to describe it, you surrender to your own cells, to love your cells again, which is to love the one you're born from, which is to love your creator again that gave you life. And so when you're experiencing life in you again, you're experiencing being alive again, because now your spirit is experiencing more love, and you're beginning to heal because you remember the one, the eternal crystal core. Eternal consciousness field, the purest love that loves us all. So I know that because I experienced being loved by the all creation, because that's what I experienced in me, because I'm in love with the all creation. So that's a God seed atom. That's the source view. And so I've always tried to keep it simple there, but I acknowledge, by virtue of how much I experienced, by how fast everything can be experienced, by virtue of the speed at which you're going to get something done to rebuild. It's amazing. It's nothing short of brilliant. Only God's source could build something that beautiful and that perfect, and that in a perfect alignment to experience love everywhere that you go. Somebody knows what they're doing, which is perfect structures and really just experiencing being one. And I realize I've met so many people here, which is why we're here, that don't experience feeling that way. Like there is a synthesis, like everything that is flowing through me as a flow that's flowing through me, in me, and then out.